Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, I am going to be talking about chapter 6 of the book Islamic Science and the Making of the European Renaissance. And this chapter's title is also similar to the book's title, Islamic Science and the Renaissance Europe, the Copernican Connection. And in this chapter, we are going to be discussing connection between Islamic science and the Renaissance science, especially through the field of astronomy. And we are going to be using Copernican astronomy as the main point to show the connection between these two sciences. And we are obviously going to be debunking the narrative about the Renaissance science, which is that it was independent science and that it had no connections whatsoever with any other civilizations, especially the Islamic civilization. And so we have been looking at these things. So let's start. Advances in Islamic astronomy. Islamic astronomers developed advanced mathematical tools exemplified by Khafri, who mastered mathematical flexibility to align models with observations, as we saw in the previous chapters. Ibn al-Shatir unified planetary models, eliminating complexities which unintentionally facilitated their adaptation to heliocentric models later adopted by Copernicus. Critique and reform of Greek astronomy. Islamic astronomers critiqued Greek theories, aiming for accurate cosmological models while reforming Greek astronomy from the 13th century onward. Byzantine influence and knowledge transfer. Byzantine scholars such as Gregory Chonier traveled to Islamic lands to learn and disseminate Islamic astronomical developments in Greece. After the fall of Constantinople in 1453, Byzantine texts, heavily influenced by Islamic knowledge, reached Europe, blending into the Renaissance intellectual environment. Renaissance knowledge transmission. The Renaissance observed Islamic scientific advancements indirectly through Byzantine texts, often read in their original Greek, bypassing full Latin translations. This transfer marked a unique and often overlooked cultural and intellectual bridge. Pilgrims and scholars visiting Islamic lands brought advanced scientific findings back to Europe, influencing early modern astronomy. Connections between Renaissance Europe and the world of Islam. Discovery of Ibn al-Shatir's model. Otto Neugebauer linked Ibn al-Shatir's 1375 lunar model to Copernicus' 1543 model, highlighting their identical structures. Neugebauer's discovery was aided by Edward Kennedy, who uncovered Ibn al-Shatir's work by chance, challenging assumptions. Prevailing beliefs viewed Renaissance science as a self-contained European creation, often dismissing Islamic influences. Neugebauer's finding revealed a direct connection between Islamic and Renaissance astronomical theories, particularly the adoption of models from Islamic sources. Tusi's contributions. Nasir al-Din al-Tusi's Tusi couple was used by Copernicus with shared geometric structures and proofs, which you can see in the illustration. Willy Hartner found that Copernicus diagrams mirrored Tusi's, even replicating Arabic geometric points designations with corresponding Latin letters. And as we can see in the diagram, where Tusi had Arabic letter Alif, Copernicus had A, and wherever Tusi had Ba, Copernicus had B, and so on, except where Tusi had Zen, Copernicus had F, and it is due to the misreading of Zen as Fa, which are looking very similar in this diagram, and one can very easily misread Zen as Fa. So the misreadings in manuscripts suggest Copernicus or his intermediary accessed Arabic text, enabling transmission of knowledge. Urdi's lemma. Muhyiddin al-Urdi's theorem influenced both Ibn al-Shatir and Copernicus' model. Tusi's and Urdi's work formed the foundation for models like those of Copernicus. Figures like Qutbuddin al-Shirazi and Ibn al-Shatir further refined these tools, integrating them into advanced planetary models. Ibn al-Shatir's influence on Copernicus. Copernicus used a model for the upper planets identical to that of Ibn al-Shatir, but adapted it for heliocentrism. Ibn al-Shatir's model incorporated Urdi's lemma, but Copernicus did not provide a formal proof for its components, unlike Urdi, so Copernicus used his model. Unconscious usage by Copernicus. Copernicus likely adopted Ibn al-Shatir's model without fully understanding their origins or mathematical foundations, such as with the Tusi couple. Mercury model similarities. Copernicus' Mercury model closely resembled Ibn al-Shatir's Mercury model, including techniques for oscillating motion and epicycle adjustments. Discrepancies in Copernicus' descriptions suggested he misunderstood key elements such as the largest appearance of Mercury's orbit. Werdlow's conclusion. Evidence suggests Copernicus copied Ibn al-Shatir's model without fully grasping its mechanisms, supporting the theory of westward transmission of Islamic astronomical ideas. Copernicus' work showed significant interdependence with earlier Islamic astronomers, including Urdi, Tusi, and Ibn al-Shatir. This challenges the view of Copernicus as a wholly independent innovator and positions him within the continuity of Islamic astronomical traditions. The similarities in models, techniques, and methods highlight the transmission of knowledge from Islamic astronomy to Renaissance Europe. Scholars like Swerdlow and Neugebauer view Copernicus as an extension of the Moravia school rather than a completely original figure in astronomy. Possible routes of contacts with Copernicus. No evidence suggests Copernicus knew Arabic or accessed the Latin translations of works by Urdi, Tusi, or Ibn al-Shatir. Unlike the works of Avicenna or Averroes, these astronomical texts lack evidence of systematic translation into Latin. Islamic mathematical theorems such as Tusi couple critiqued Greek astronomy and offered alternatives to Aristotelian cosmology, influencing Copernicus. The classical narrative of Renaissance science, focusing on recovering Greek and Roman antiquity, is questioned. Islamic sources, often dismissed as products of a declining culture, are shown to have laid foundational principles for modern science. Unanswered questions on transmission. The exact mechanism through which Copernicus accessed these Islamic ideas remains unclear. If he knew Urdi's work, it does not explain his knowledge of Tusi's couple. If he accessed Tusi's work, it does not clarify his use of Ibn al-Shatir's models. Role of commentaries. So the hypothesis is that Copernicus Copernicus might have used a comprehensive Arabic commentary that integrated the works of Urdu, Tusi, and Ibn al-Shatir. No such commentary is currently known, leaving the question open for further research. The Tusi's couple challenged Aristotle's division of the universe with potential broader implication for cosmology. Intercultural scientific exchange raises question about Copernicus' knowledge of Arabic, his network with Arabists, and the depth of their technical expertise. It highlights the need for a dual perspective investigation of Renaissance intellectual environments across the Mediterranean. The Byzantine route. Copernicus likely used Arabic as a mediator for accessing Islamic astronomical concepts, as Arabic sources were not translated into Latin. Despite the lack of direct translation, there is evidence of theoretical and mathematical connections between Copernicus and Islamic astronomers. Separation of heliocentrism and Aristotelian cosmology. Islamic astronomers adhered to Aristotelian geocentrism while refining Ptolemaic models for consistency. Copernicus retained some Aristotelian principles, e.g. celestial spheres, but diverged by proposing heliocentrism, raising questions about his adherence to outdated cosmological frameworks. Influence of Islamic astronomy on Renaissance science. Copernicus' mathematical rigor, particularly his work on Ptolemaic equations, aligned with the consistency emphasized in Islamic astronomy. Knowledge exchange between Islamic and Renaissance Europe highlights the continuity of scientific thought across cultures. Impact on historiography. These findings challenge the traditional separation of Middle Ages and Renaissance science, emphasizing a fluid transition. Understanding when, where, and how Copernicus accessed Islamic ideas promises to reshape the history of science and the perceived relationship between Europe and the Islamic world. Debunking coincidental discovery. The number, complexity, and technical nature of the similarities between Islamic astronomy and Copernican work suggest deliberate transmission rather than independent discovery. Future studies of Copernicus' sources will reshape our understanding of global scientific progress and intercultural exchanges. The Renaissance Arabism. Rules of transmission beyond Greek. The transmission of Islamic astronomy to Copernicus expanded beyond Greek sources to include direct Arabic texts such as Vatican manuscript annotated by Postal. Postal, fluent in Arabic, acquired Arabic scientific manuscripts and demonstrated a deep interest in Arabic texts, which may have influenced European scientific thought. Although no direct evidence links Postal to Copernicus, the possibility remains that Copernicus consulted individuals like Postal for information on Arabic astronomy. The potential intermediary role of Arabist scholars could explain Copernicus' exposure to advanced Islamic astronomical concepts. Widespread engagement with Arabic scientific texts in Europe libraries indicate a broader Renaissance interest in Islamic astronomy. Renaissance scholars recognize Islamic astronomy's superiority over Greek science, particularly in reforming Ptolemaic models, which influenced European scholars. Cultural exchange and continuity. The Mediterranean facilitated knowledge exchange, linking Copernicus' education to Islamic scientific advancements, with Poland's proximity to the Ottoman Empire aiding this transmission. Context in the field of instrument. Astrolabe of Antonio de Sangallo the Younger. De Sangallo, a renowned Renaissance architect, meticulously copied an astrolabe made in Baghdad around 850 CE by Khafif, an apprentice of Ali bin Isa. His detailed replication included Arabic inscriptions suggesting admiration for Arabic scientific achievements despite no evidence of him knowing Arabic. Hybrid astrolabes in Renaissance Europe. Example of a hybrid astrolabe later crafted by Al-Khamairi in Muslim Spain in 1222 CE. Pretty star map overlay modified with Latin inscriptions by the Arsenius family of Northern Europe in 16th century indicates knowledge of Arabic and use of Islamic instruments in Northern European scientific communities. Islamic influence on astrolabe designs. Arsenius family ritis may have been inspired by Islamic calligraphy, potentially reflecting the Arabic phrase Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, which was misunderstood as tulip design. Similar designs are found in Persian astrolabes, e.g. Muhammad Zaman's 1651-52 astrolabe, and may have influenced the European counterparts. Tulip motif connection. The tulip-like design in astrolabe ritis may link to the 16th century tulip craze in the Netherlands influenced by Ottoman Empire. The exchange of scientific knowledge through instruments highlights the intellectual connection between Islamic and European traditions, encouraging more research in this area. Traffic from east to west. Islamic scientific knowledge influenced Renaissance Europe, particularly through figures like Dio Africanus, who taught Arabic and connected with Copernicus. John Albert Widmanstadt and Arabic scientific texts. Widmanstadt, a student of Leo Africanus, played a key role in transmitting Arabic scientific knowledge to European scholars. Leo Africanus' role. Leo Africanus significantly impacted Renaissance science by teaching Arabic and sharing Islamic scientific ideas. Nematullah and the Medici Oriental Press. Nematullah, a Syriac patriarch who fled to Venice, played a role in bringing Arabic manuscripts to Europe, particularly to the Medici Oriental Press. The Medici Press printed a wide range of Arabic texts, including Euclid's Elements and other scientific work, highlighting Renaissance Europe's interest in original Arabic texts rather than medieval translations. The calendar reform and Nematullah's contribution. Nematullah contributed to the Gregorian calendar reform, leveraging his knowledge of more accurate astronomical calculations from from Arabic sources. This underscores his important role in shaping Renaissance Europe's scientific advancements. Connection to Copernicus and the question of Arabic influence. The text suggests that although the Copernican Revolution altered the worldview, the continued reliance on Arabic scientific sources in the late 16th and early 17th centuries raises questions about the role of Islamic science in pre-Copernican Europe. The interest in Arabic text even after the Copernican Revolution hints at the profound influence Islamic science had on European thought. Conclusion. Evidence reveals strong connection between Copernican astronomy and Islamic traditions, with scholars like Postel and Widmanstadt contributing to the transmission of Islamic scientific ideas. Renaissance scientists could directly engage with Arabic text, gaining original scientific ideas and reformulating concepts, especially in astronomy and medicine. Many Renaissance scientific ideas in astronomy, medicine, and other empirical sciences derived directly from Islamic knowledge rather than from Greek classical sources. For example, astronomical values and models adopted by Renaissance scientists were based on more accurate Arabic developments, such as corrected values for precession and ecliptic inclination and updated solar apogee calculations. Understanding Copernican astronomy. To fully understand the foundations of Copernican astronomy, it is essential to consider the scientific advancements made in the Islamic world which preceded Copernicus, and about that we have talked in the third and fourth chapter of this book. The Islamic scientific tradition, especially in astronomy, shows a gradual development of ideas over centuries, offering a deeper understanding of scientific progress than the work of Copernicus alone. Islamic scientists developed alternatives to Greek ideas, particularly in astronomy, advancing observational sciences beyond Greek methods. Arabic science was recognized as superior in observational sciences by the Renaissance, with figures like Vesalius acknowledging its importance. And that is the end of this chapter. And in this chapter, we looked at the connections between the Islamic science and the European Renaissance science, and we can see the clear connection between the two. And in the next chapter, which is the last chapter of this book, we are going to be talking about the fecundity of Islamic astronomy. Stay tuned for that one.